All right, so in this video, we're gonna break down the best marketing strategy to grow your local service-based business in 2026. And we're gonna cover a ton of different things here, compare and contrast a lot of the popular ways of generating clients, cold calling, networking, social media, all those things, and actually going through this list of different parameters that we can ultimately make the decision that what is gonna be the best thing as a local business to grow in 2026. So before we jump too deep into this and start comparing these things, my name is Aaron Martinez. I'm the owner of a company called Local Authority Media, where we help local businesses, service-based businesses, become the best known in their industry, because it's no longer about who is the best at their service, but more about the best known, so that people come to you, they want to use your services, and is no longer a race to the bottom of who can do it cheapest. And I don't know about you, but I don't like doing work for the cheapest. I like working with clients that actually like me and that trust me and that want to pay what I am worth. So that being said, if you're someone that wants to do that as well, you can join the thousands of other people that we've actually helped. And it's the same strategy as some of the things we'll talk about is what we've used to hit over $30 million a year over the last couple of years. So all that stuff out of the way, let's jump into actually compare and contrasting. So essentially what this is here, I mean, it's pretty basic, but on the left side is we're gonna take a look at some of the popular ways to get clients. So cold calling, networking, social media, Facebook ads, referrals, SEO, and then Instagram ads and content. And then we're gonna rank those based on scalability, so how easy it is to scale, the budget needed to actually implement the strategy, time to deal, so how quickly can you make money and generate deals from this, competition, so how many people in your market are actually doing it, ease of implementation, how easy is it to implement, and then lead temperature, so how warm is the lead that is coming through these different strategies. So we're gonna start off and just go left to right on each of these things here. We're gonna cover scalability. So cold calling, as I put the scalability at low, right? Unless you were literally just sitting there all day long on the phones, which who the heck even likes doing that, is the scalability is pretty low. Unless you build out a team, or unless, again, you're sitting on the phones all day long, but then at the end of the day, like if you're on the phones all day long, who's gonna take care of your clients? No one, right? So the scalability there is very, very low. Now, budget, on the other hand, is still also low. You can see I have green, yellow, green, orange, and red to kind of show like good, bad, ugly type thing, or good, okay, bad is kind of the ranking there. So low budget, because I mean, you literally just need your phone and you need phone numbers and you need to call, right? I'm not talking about the the softwares that you might use or buying the list or anything like that. That just like literally the sheer nature of implementing the strategy. The budget's pretty low, right? You don't need any money in order to cold call people, right? So time to deal. So I put medium because a lot of times like it really just hit or miss. Like sometimes they might need to move forward really quickly, and sometimes they are like 10 months out or 6 months out or a year out. Right, so I just put it right in the medium because it really just kind of depends on where that specific person is in their own buying journey. Now, competition I put at high. The reason competition is high, like you might be saying, Aaron, nobody does cold calling. Well, at the end of the day, like anything that has a low budget associated to it, a lot of times the competition is high because people could be cheap, right? Or maybe they're just starting their business and they don't have a ton of funds to implement into ads or some of these other strategies. So the competition at the end of the day with those, or for cold calling, is going to be pretty high. Now, ease of implementation, I put hard as well. Again, who likes cold calling? Like, I think there's like a very small, like probably less than 1% of businesses that are actually good at cold calling or enjoy doing it. So the ease of implementation, in addition to the competition being super high, it's just going to be really difficult to be better than someone that's probably doing it for 10, 15 years and just like absolutely savage at cold calling. So ease of implementation for that is going to be pretty hard. And then the lead temperature is generally pretty cold, right? You're calling someone that has no idea who you are. You got their number off some sort of list. They don't know you. They don't know your company. They don't know anything. And it's like you're arm wrestling this client to even set an appointment with you. Heck, you're arm wrestling with the potential client to even get past the first 2 sentences that you put out there. So I'm just putting the lead temperature there as ice cold. I would have put ice cold, but we'll just put cold there because we're only using the 3 different parameters. So let's talk about networking. So when it comes to networking, the scalability is super low because it is contingent, like you scaling and going to more networking events is contingent on, number one, how many networking events are actually there. Like you can't just be like, oh, I want to scale the amount of networking events I go to. Let's go to 10 today. Well, is there even 10 that are available there, right? And is there 10 that you're not currently going to that doesn't already have somebody else that's in your industry that's in it? Because generally networking events, they don't want you to have like 5 real estate agents or 5 roofing companies or whatever, because there's then just a ton of competition there. So it just is very hard to scale because we all have 24 hours in the day, and there's really only 12 hours a day that networking events might happen. So you just got to kind of keep that in mind. Now, budget I put here in low as well. And I mean, yes, you might have some like member fees or whatever it may be, but you're not, again, investing into advertising or anything like that. So the budget is generally going to be pretty low. Now, networking events in terms of time to deal. So I put fast to medium because it really fully depends, right? A lot of times the person that is giving you some sort of referral at a networking event is they're going to like go into their mind and figure out who needs this service right now because they want to be able to give you a referral that's actually going to convert. So in that aspect, I mean, getting those types of referral type handoffs is actually really good. But when you start to compare and contrast, like, well, it is not really that scalable. So can I actually like hit the goals that I want to by just doing networking events? Probably not. But when we're talking about time to deal, then it's usually fast to medium. Now let's talk about competition. So competition with the networking, I put low because, like I kind of alluded to earlier, a lot of networking events is they only allow one specific person in a given industry in that group. Some of them don't. It's more of kind of like an open, like, you're really networking. But, so a lot of them, like a BNI or, more like sanctioned ones is, you're not going to have any competition. You're going to be the one go-to person for that entire group of however many people are actually going there. Now, ease of implementation, I put medium on this one because, yes, like having a conversation and getting referrals, like that could be easy, but you have to work the leads, right? You have to be a little bit outgoing to start these conversations and spark them up and ask for referrals. So it's not like something where they're just going to get handed things. So I put it into medium in terms of the ease of implementation. And then lead temperature, I put medium. It's not like, ice hot, and maybe as like a referral, but it could, I guess, be in some cases. I was like right in the middle with this one. It's not like super cold. It's also not super hot. So just put it right in the middle in terms of lead temperature. Now, scalability. So scalability with social media. Now with this one, the issue with social media is, and don't get me wrong, I love social media. I built my entire like livelihood off of knowing social media and doing it since I was 9 years old. So last 21 years. I'm 30. I'm about to be 31. But almost 22 years of posting on social media. But I put medium because, yes, it could work really well. But whenever you post on social media, you don't really have targeting options. You kind of just post in there and then you hope that it hits the right audience. But if you do hit the right audience and it does do really well, like you can get 1 million views overnight, which is really cool. So that's why I put it in terms of scalability medium. And then all you need to do to scale it is just make more content and post more, right? Which you generally isn't going to take too much time. So budget, I put low because unless you're investing into a bunch of softwares, but like just the sheer nature of someone that is going to post on social media, in most cases it's free. So you don't really have any budget associated with that unless you're hiring editors and whatever. But again, just the sheer nature of posting content is free on basically all platforms. Now, time to deal, I put medium. So with social media, it just depends, right? It's more of a luck thing. Sometimes you can get in front of someone that's moving forward right now. Sometimes it's going to take them 6 to 12 months to actually convert. Competition. So competition, this one I put high. Again, very similar to what I said with the cold calling is in your local market. We're kind of in an age now where like everyone is aware of social media. So everyone is posting on social media. Now, here's the caveat though. Not a lot of it is like great content, but it doesn't matter that it's not great because it's just a bunch of noise, right? Everyone is posting. So and most people are doing it wrong. So it's not going to be something where, again, like you can make really great posts, but if a bunch of people in your market are also already doing it, then it's going to be just very competitive if you're not doing anything different or that is revolutionary within that specific market when it comes to social media. Now, ease of implementation, I put medium because when it comes to creating the right types of content that is going to get in front of the right type of audience that is going to actually convert clients, it's not the easiest thing in the world, right? That's why I put medium. Now, if you're just like posting randomly on social media and you don't really care about the strategy and you're, posting Canva graphics and, before and afters of your job site, it's not that hard to implement, but you're also not going to get the best results for that. So I digress. Just the ease of implementation alone is medium. Now, when we're talking about lead temperature, also medium. So if you're doing it in the right way and you're implementing at a high level and you're doing it consistently, then because you're creating content you're building the know, like, and trust factor of anyone that's watching your content. So a lot of times if somebody knows you, if they like you and they trust you, they build this what is called a parasocial relationship. What that is, you can Google it if you want, but essentially it's like a one-sided relationship that is built. Think of it as like maybe your favorite like actress or TV show personality or whatever. It's like you've seen a lot of their stuff and you feel like you kind of know them. So because of that, you're much more likely to buy their products because it's like, oh, you're kind of like not indebted, but you know what I mean, right? It's like you feel like you know that person. So we're just going to put lead temperature as medium for that. Now, in terms of scalability for Facebook ads, so I put this also at medium because your ability to scale this within your market, it's all dependent on how large your market is. So if you're in a really small market, it's probably not going to be too scalable, which here's the thing, is scalability isn't really that big of a deal depending on the goals that you're trying to hit, right? So I put it at medium because it's going to be very dependent on your market. And a lot of times, like, you can only scale it to a certain point when you are actually building it out within your own, within your local market. So Facebook ads budget, I put medium as well. So you don't necessarily, like, you don't need a crazy high budget, like we'll talk about here in a second with like Google ads, but you still need to have some sort of budget that is going to ultimately give you the results that you're looking for. One of the biggest mistakes that I see, a lot of, especially service-based businesses make, is that they want to spend like $100 a month or $500 a month. Hey, yeah, even $1,000 a month to see a result that's like, oh, I'll make $1 million off of spending $1,000. And it's like, well, you can't really do that not only in marketing, but in like anything in life. Like, name me an investment where you put in $1,000 and make $1 million, other than like winning the lottery or getting lucky with a crypto coin, like whatever it may be, or, getting lucky with a stock even. But it's usually not, it's just not the case. So anytime you're doing any sort of advertising, it's going to be dependent on your goal. So if you want to make, I know HVAC companies, there's a specific HVAC company that comes to mind, not a client of mine, but someone that I know, and I do a lot of market research, is they're spending 6 figures a month on ads, but they're also doing like $2 million a month. So would you put in 100,000 to make 2 million? I don't know. I would, right? So you just kind of have to put that into perspective. So time to deal. I'm going to put medium here as well. It's, again, sometimes they convert very quickly. Let's say you hit a right pocket with your specific ad, but other times they also might be looking for in the distant future a lot of times. So competition. So competition is very high, right? We're at a point with Facebook ads specifically. I actually have a video. You can click the video somewhere on screen. I talked about why you shouldn't run Facebook ads in 2026. But we're at a place with Facebook ads where, like, back in 2013, no one knew what it was. So you implement Facebook ads, you have the worst ad ever, and you see a lot of results. Now, because everyone knows about Facebook ads or meta ads, everyone's doing it, so it really saturates the market, and it just really makes it hard to see any sort of success from it because everybody is doing it. Now, ease of implementation, I put medium as well. Not too hard, right? You can watch a couple YouTube videos, you can watch some of my videos and get things launched, but it's not something that you're going to do without any sort of experience. You do need to learn, buy some courses, watch some videos in order to get them implemented and up and running. Lead temperature is definitely cold. So when it comes to Facebook ads, unless you know the actual strategies of, okay, we're going to start off with lead generation, we're going to start off with an awareness campaign, and then we're going to convert that into a retargeting campaign to get in front of the people that are the warmest, right? I'm probably speaking Chinese to some people out there, but the lead temperature is generally pretty cold because you're putting it out in front of an audience. They don't know who you are. And because they don't know who you are, and a lot of times people are doing the wrong objectives when it comes to their marketing, is every single lead that comes through is cold, right? You might have experienced this if you tried Facebook ads in the past and you're like, these leads suck. Well, it's not that they suck. It's just you're going after the wrong audience and probably not using the right strategy. So let's talk about referrals. So referrals, from a scalability standpoint, again, is low. Now, this is very different if you are a well-known company and you've been around for 50 years, right? You're probably doing pretty well on referrals. But if you're just getting started and you're asking yourself, hey, I'm not getting enough referrals to actually scale the business at the capacity that I want to, then yeah, it's going to be very difficult to scale it. It's not something where it's like, you can't be like, I want more referrals, and then you get more referrals. It's just not how it works, right? You need to build up the business, and a lot of time it's slow to build those referrals, but at a certain point you'll get it there. It's not something that you can like put a light switch on and it start to actually work for you. Budget is low. I mean, it's really nothing there in terms of like maybe like kickbacks or referral fees or things like that. But I mean, you're not really generally putting money into getting referrals. It's usually free. Now, time to deal, I put fast and medium, very similar to the networking events, is with referrals is when people send you referrals, it's usually because they're like talking to their friend and they're like, hey, do you know a roofer? And it's like, oh yeah, I know this guy. Yeah, I got a big hole in my roof. And then like a direct transaction there. So that's the cool thing about referrals. A lot of times, like the way that I think about this is referrals, it should just be a part of the strategy either way, right? Because like there's no extra time that goes into that. You just have to be open to receiving more referrals. So like kind of just, I'll put an asterisk on referrals, is you should have a part a part of the strategy anyway, but I just put it in here because I don't think, most people don't want to just rely on referrals. They actually want to grow their business. So competition is low because, again, if someone is referring someone to you, they're not referring that same person out to 10 people. It's just like they're going directly to you, and you don't really have to compete with anyone there. Ease of implementation, you literally just got to be like good at your job. You got to follow up. You got to be good at what you do, right? And if you, as long as those like bare minimums are in place, you should be good in terms of implementing that. And then lead temperature, again, they're coming directly as a referral source or as a, from a contact or whatever it may be, is they are going to basically buy every single time because they're coming from a trusted person that they're coming from you. So let's talk about SEO. So SEO is search engine optimization, if you didn't know. So basically ranking higher in Google. And what we're going to do here from a scalability standpoint is medium. Now, when I say medium, is because it very similar to a lot of the other ones that are medium, is that it could work, but SEO just takes, as we'll kind of allude to here, to ease of implementation and time to deal, is it usually is just, it takes a long time to implement, right? If you haven't been doing SEO for, years, which a lot of times it does take years to see success with SEO, is you're not going to be able to really scale that unless you're already established. So when we're talking about a budget for SEO is low. So SEO in most cases outside of like a couple different softwares and things like that, again, you're not investing into advertising, you're just optimizing your website. So your budget is generally pretty low. Now, I'm not saying that if you're going to hire someone to do it, the budget might be a lot higher there, but just if you were to do it yourself, the budget is almost non-existent outside of some software costs. Time to deal is I put fast. So when I'm saying fast is assuming that your SEO is already like solid and dialed in. So if you're ranking at the top of Google, you're already doing well there, then yes, your time to deal is fast, because when someone is searching for a specific need, let's say they're on Google and you have really good SEO placement, is they're going to usually, like, because they're in that search intent mode, is they're searching for like roofing damage in Little Rock, I'm in Central Arkansas, realtor in my area. So it's like, because they're searching for it and you're ranking up top, is they basically need that service right away. So SEO is another similar one, where SEO I would do in conjunction with some of these other ones, because you do want to like have that strategy going and have it going in the background and start working and continue to work on that over the years, so that eventually you do become the top company in your specific area. Now, in terms of competition, SEO, here's the problem with it. Like, one of the biggest problems is it's high, right? If you're just getting started in business or you're relatively new, is other businesses that have been, probably around before the internet was, well, not before the internet, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like when the internet first came out in the 2000s, is like, if they started there, it's going to be an uphill battle for you to compete with the people that have been doing it for a very long time. So if you do your research in your area and you see, who's ranking where, you can get a better idea of like how easy would it be to take over a specific keyword in your area. But for, things like HVAC, like in my area or near me, those keywords are going to be very difficult to bid on, or not bid on, but you know what I'm saying, right? To actually rank on, if people have been doing it for a long time in your specific market. Now, ease of implementation, again, I put very hard, because unless you're an SEO wizard and you know about backlinks and, page maps, and I don't even know that much about SEO, to be honest with you, but it's like, H1, H2, H3 tags. Like, again, if I'm speaking Chinese and you're like, what the heck is Aaron talking about? Probably wouldn't try to do SEO yourself. I would just hire someone to do it, to be honest with you, because like I said before, SEO is something you want to just have as an ongoing strategy. But if you're trying to implement it yourself, to be honest with you, if you're a business owner and you got a lot of other stuff to do, I wouldn't drop everything and try to build out SEO. I would just hire someone to do that and not do it yourself. Now, last but not least is lead temperature here for this one. And lead temperature is very hot, very similar to what I said earlier to time to deal, is lead temperature. These are intent-based, search-based people. So they're looking for a problem or a solution to their problem immediately, or as soon as humanly possible. So because of that, it's like they need your service right friggin' now. So last one that we're going to talk about here is Instagram ads plus content. So Instagram ads being, hyper local specific ads. I have a strategy that I like to implement called local authority funnel, where basically you create Instagram ads and then you pair that with strategic content. So when we're talking about scalability, the scalability for this is very high. And the reason is because really no one's doing it, which I'll talk about in competition here in a second. In most markets, I've done the research on, dozens of markets at this point, and even where we have clients, is no one is implementing these strategies, which makes the scalability really, really high, because there isn't a bunch of people that are doing it. It's like you are the only one doing it, and you can get in front of basically the entire market and scale it to the moon, depending on how much you want to spend. Now, for budget, so I put budget at low, because you can get started. I've seen success even with my own stuff at as small as $20 to $30 per day. But I know people, and even on some of our other businesses, we're spending $30,000 to $40,000 every single day because of how scalable and how profitable this specific strategy is. So I just put it at low, because you can start with a low budget, still see some pretty good results, which is kind of different from a lot of these other things that are on the list in terms of advertising. Now, time to deal. So time to deal is usually fast to beating. So very similar to like what I talked about on a lot of these is you essentially, some people are going to move forward fast. Some of them are going to be a longer cycle. It kind of just is what it is. Now, the competition section, so competition is very low, like I said before, as very little people are doing this in any market right now. So for you to be able to implement and take action on this type of strategy is very, very simple. And you can really do it. Like I like to compare it to Facebook ads back in like 2013, 2014. Because no one was doing it, you can get away with a ton of stuff, and you don't really have to even be the best at the specific services, or I'm sorry, these specific strategies, because no one is really doing it. Now, ease of implementation, I put easy here as well, because you literally have to record a 15 to 20 to 30 second ad. You click a couple settings within Instagram, you click go, and you're good to go, right? It's very, very easy and to actually implement. And then the lead temperature is usually very hot, right? So Instagram ads and the content, because you're kind of like we talked about earlier in, which one was it? Social media, is when you are consistently creating content, you are building up that know, like, and trust factor of you in that specific market. And because they continually see you through, and why it's different from social media, like why it's medium versus hot when it comes to Instagram ads, is with posting on social media is it's inconsistent, right? But when we're putting together hyper local ads, which is consistently getting in front of that audience, and then you're gaining new followers on a daily basis, and then your content is consistently getting in front of those people that have already followed you and made the decision that they want to follow you, then it's going to be very, very easy to convert these people because they're always seeing you and they're consistently seeing you every single day. So I actually put together, based on all this stuff, I know this was kind of a lot of stuff to go through, but I made a graph over here when it comes to all these different strategies here. So you can see basically what I did is I ranked the greens got 3 points, the mediums or the oranges got 2 points, and then the reds got 1 point. So if we look at just the different strategies here, obviously here at the bottom right, we can see Instagram ads up there at the top. Instagram ads plus content is basically at the top there. This close second is referrals. The only thing with referrals is it really isn't that scalable, and you kind of just have to wait for those. But just from a sheer like the numbers perspective of how we broke it down is close there. Same thing with SEO. SEO is pretty high up there, but it's just unless you already have that there or no one else is doing your market, which is usually very, it's not usually going to happen, is that's up there. And then everything else kind of trails over there, either, 10, 11 points or fewer. So obviously you look in this and just figure out, based on what your specific market calls for or what you're trying to do within your business, is if you were trying to, you're a local service-based business and you're like, I want to make 2026 the best year you ever. I want to have a really scalable marketing strategy, and I want to be able to put more money into it and get more as I continue to scale, then obviously Instagram ads plus content is going to be one of the best things for you to implement going into the new year. If you're someone that wants to learn the exact strategy of Instagram plus content at a very deep level, I actually made a video. You can click the video on screen right now. It's going to bring you over to that, and you can watch exactly step by step of how to implement it for your own local service-based business in 2026, or you can click the first link down in the description below, book a call with me or my team. We actually build this out for you directly, the entire system for Instagram ads and content, and really blow you up in 2026. So that being said, Aaron here. See you guys in the next one. Click the video. Talk soon.